Well, hello, 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 and welcome to the next episode, episode 7 of Steam Feed TV. I want to welcome everybody to Steam Feed TV. This is our 7th episode. We are excited to be here. Before we do anything else, I need to do some business, and I'm going to do it real quick. Remember, September 8th through September 11th is the Content Marketing World Conference, and that's in Cleveland at the Cleveland Convention Center. And when you go to registration, be sure you remember to go to registration and use the discount code SteamFeed. That's with a capital S and a capital F. So it's capital S, T-E-A-M, capital F, E-E-D, and you will get $100 off your registration. So make sure you head out there. And that's a great conference. Kevin Spacey is going to be the keynote speaker, the closing keynote speaker. So I'm hoping to see some people out there. And when you see the SteamFeed banner, come by and say hello. Alrighty, so without any further ado, I want to bring everybody on. Let's go down the line and introduce ourselves. I believe, Randy, why don't you start?
I'm Randy Bowden. I'm one of the original authors of Steam Feed and happy to be part of this panel.
Jennifer?
Hi, I'm Jennifer Kane. I live in Minneapolis where it's currently flooding. So that's big news here today.
Jeff?
I'm Jeff, and I am the Steam Feed's X Factor.
And our new guy, Greg.
My name is Greg, and I've been with Steam Feed for about 3 months. Nope, 2 months. I lied.
And last but not least, Brooke, who has a special guest with her tonight.
Hello, I'm Brooke Ballard. I've been with Steam Feed. I've been with Steam Feed for a little over a year, which is crazy, and I'm here with my sister, Taylor. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm a senior at Gettysburg College.
And Taylor is here because of our first topic, which is millennials, because she is of that generation. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I want to talk about millennials. We're going to do this a little bit different in that we have talked about millennials and the slacktivism and how millennials seem to be getting a bad name. And what I wanted to do was kind of leave it up to the panel to kind of pick Taylor's brain and answer some of the questions that you may have, because as we were talking in the green room, Greg already realized that there are some platforms that they're using that we're not. So let's go ahead and start. Everybody, jump right in.
Go ahead,
Why don't
Greg.
we start with the platforms? I'd like to know about the platforms.
Well, let me just say that you kind of preface that in saying, you took the millennials and you put slacktivism on the millennials. I don't think it's just the millennials.
That's not what I didn't mean it that way. I just meant that that's kind of the string of the conversation.
Okay.
Platforms?
Yeah, go to platforms.
Okay.
Talk about Greg and Taylor. Go ahead and start off where we cut off in the green room.
Okay. I'll let Greg in.
So I guess so. I'll start. So what platforms are you using? So most of us on here are using Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, but what platforms do people who are your age, who are like the 20 to 25, using, but that we are not as familiar with?
Well, Facebook, as you guys know, is still huge. Everyone still uses it. A lot of people only really use LinkedIn when it comes to finding a career or making connections or just kind of connecting with people in general for a profession. I use Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Instagram and Snapchat are like the new ones, the kind of up-and-coming ones that are a big deal these days.
So in the green room when we were talking, I kind of had my curiosity sort of piqued when, as a marketer, as a person who does marketing for a living, what brands do you follow on either Instagram or on Snapchat?
Well, Snapchat, there aren't that many brands in Snapchat. You can kind of just go ahead and X brands out for Snapchat, but you think of any of the big names, Patagonia, Lululemon, any of kind of the big retailers, even GoPro, they all have their own Instagram accounts. Even airlines have their own Instagram accounts where they post, I guess, coupons or special sales that they're having, and they post pictures on, and it's almost is like a form of advertisement for them.
And do you care? I mean, do you enjoy that?
Yeah, like Patagonia has like very, very cool Instagrams. A lot of them, Patagonia isn't really necessarily pictures of their products. It's like pictures of them rock climbing or like pictures of mountains, and they're actually very cool.
Taylor, because you are in the millennial demographic, let me ask you this way, because some of the research I've read talks about millennials are motivated by incentives. So what you just said, like on Instagram, Patagonia might issue a coupon or a discount or something like that. Do you actively, or do you have friends that are actively searching for that type of content out there?
I wouldn't say they're actively searching for it, but when it does show up, I do think a lot of people from my generation take advantage of it.
And if they're not offering you something and they just want to chat, do you find that enticing or skeevy?
Well, there's not really a chatting type of environment. Instagram, you can leave comments, but it's nothing like Facebook where you can go on chat or message where it's a back and forth conversation. It's more of just like it or you comment like what a cool picture. So there's nothing very skeevy when it comes to these posts from Instagram from the big names.
Well, I guess the other question is, when you're on Instagram, maybe part of Jennifer's question was, does the brand interact with you quite a bit on Instagram? If you comment or like one of their pictures, do they make a comment about that, or do they follow up with it, or is it just sort of out there and a bunch of other people are just saying the same thing?
Yeah, it's pretty much just out there open for discussion because these brands have so many followers. You know, there's a comment or a like almost every second. So I think it's almost hard for them to keep up with these comments that are coming in.
And do you think that in any way this establishes brand loyalty between you and these brands?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it establishes the type of loyalty that you get one-on-one, but I think it does give some kind of a perspective for the customer.
Would you share your idea, the differentiation of Snapchat and Instagram, what you prefer and the difference in those two platforms?
Well, Instagram is mostly like I can take a picture of like this water bottle and Instagram it and put a cool filter on it and make it look very interesting, and you know it gives it a different look, and there's just a bunch of different effects that you can use on Instagram. So Instagram is really just kind of to show off your artsy side, I guess you could say. It also just makes you look prettier. And,
you know, one of the things I got to say is just being the moderator is very interesting. It's very clear that the people that are on this panel are passionate about what they do, because you guys are like salivating at asking her questions, and I can see you all. Your minds are just, the wheels are turning, and you're asking great questions, and it's all about interest in the field. And I think it's great that you got, you know, there's somebody here that we can actually, you know, a real live person. We don't have to read it in an article. We can ask the real live person, and it's fun to watch you guys light up.
I guess one of the points I want to make on this, though, is that she was saying that if you have a brand that just has an image there, and yeah, there's some interaction with other commenters or other people that like that particular image, that it's still, for her, it still gives her some brand loyalty, even though the brand itself isn't really interacting with her. So can you explain that just a little bit more about why?
Let me just interject a little bit. I think that she has to have an affinity with that brand for that to exist. Is that not right, Taylor?
Yes, I have to find them and search them on my account.
And that means you have an interest in, just for discussion, Patagonia. You have an interest in them. You find them, and that's how that works, right?
Yes.
So, Brooke, do you have anything to say, or are you just going to let your sister do it?
I'm like soaking it all in.
Your dog just escaped.
I'm curious about Snapchat, because that's the biggest like mystery for me is Snapchat. So, following up with what Randy was asking her, what's the difference to you with Snapchat and Instagram? So you said Instagram. What's your take on Snapchat?
Well, Snapchat, you can take a picture on Snapchat, and you can control how many seconds you want that picture to be seen, who sees it. There's a button called My Story where anyone can see it. Anyone can see it as many times as they want. But for just regular Snapchat pictures, they only show up for however many seconds you put it as to the people who you click on your contact list.
Do you think that that's true, that picture goes away after 15 seconds or something?
No, I mean anything that's on the internet or through your phone, it's always there. It's never going away. So.
Do you think that brands should be on Snapchat, or do you think that they look awkward there?
I think that's almost like a nuisance if brands are on Snapchat.
Yeah.
I think if you see that, you're like, not another ad. Like, I'm just trying to Snapchat my friend how hungry I am.
Well, you open up another thing. What about what's your feeling about ads on any of the platforms?
Honestly, they're kind of irrelevant sometimes. It really depends on who it is and what kind of audience you're targeting. If I'm on Facebook and I see Steve Madden shoes on the side, I'm going to click on it. But if it's something that doesn't entice me, then I'm not going to click on it. So it really just depends on the person. But for Instagram, it's different because you have to go and search for this brand name that you're looking for. And on Facebook, it kind of just pops up on the side, and you don't really have a choice if you want to.
Do you appreciate that fact that you're online and you're searching for interests that Taylor is interested in, and that Facebook or Google puts those interests in front of you instantaneously? Do you appreciate that?
Yeah, no, I like when they're like, we recommend this for you, because I'm kind of like, oh, okay.
Do you find that creepy?
It sounds a lot like Snapchat is being used like Twitter was when it first came out, to be social, before it became infected with
little micro conversations. Yeah.
Because you can only use so many words on it, so it's just very small conversations, if you can even call them conversations.
P.S. I saw my first sponsored post on Instagram. I don't know if y'all saw it.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you put that out there.
Yeah. I found it to not be a nuisance. I thought it was very well done. But that's the only ad that I've seen, so who knows how they'll go from there. But I thought it was well done.
Well, doesn't that hold true for any platform? If it's well done and it's interesting or funny or gets an emotion out of you, it's not a problem. If it's just constant spam, then it's a problem.
Touche.
Taylor, you did not mention Vine. Are you on Apple Pro? Do you do any Vine stuff?
Yeah, there was a big Vine phase at my school.
Phase, I love.
It was. Well, my generation is so ADHD. We just go from app to app to app. Nothing actually sticks except for Facebook as of now and Twitter. So there was a huge phase of Vine where people are just Vining like crazy. I mean, it was a really cool app.
The cat Vine you did was hysterical.
Yeah, I mean, they're so much fun. You can my friends would get so creative with it, and it actually turned out being really fun to watch and use. But I mean, after Instagram added video, they added that element to their app. Vine just kind of disappeared because we could do videos on Instagram then.
You said something very telling. The generation that you were talking about. You mentioned that we go from app to app to app, and that's something that none of the other people that you're talking to here tonight have ever had the opportunity to do. That's an interesting difference between yourself and other people, even people like us that are on this stuff and do this stuff. But that's very interesting.
I read a report in Fast Company about Instagram and their video element, and that it was they viewed it as a failure. So that's kind of interesting to hear.
Yeah, that is. All right, well, we're going to change topics right now. We're going to be talking. We're going to jump into. Everybody has seen, I'm sure, that Amazon has launched their first phone, the Amazon Fire, and there are some things about this phone that change it from a regular smartphone. And one of the things that Jeff Bezos said was, it's no longer a smartphone; it's now a smart camera. And I thought that was very interesting. And there's three things that I wanted to jump in on and get the panel's opinion on. One of them is the 3D capabilities. The screen appears, your pictures and things appear to be 3D because of the camera capabilities on the Fire. And it's very cool. I've seen video of it. It's very, very cool. It looks really cool. The other thing is, the big thing for me, quite honestly, is that Amazon is putting this out. I think Amazon has the money and the infrastructure to challenge Google. And where they would be challenging Google is that they have Fire has the capability, if you point your phone's camera at a structure, it'll automatically look it up and search it on the internet and knows what it is. And I was curious to get everybody's opinions on those things because it is so different, and it is, in my opinion, kind of the next step up. And I agree with that comment that it's now become a smart camera. And how does that affect our you know, people talking about Google Glass with facial recognition? How does that affect our privacy once again? So jump in, panel.
My biggest thing is the privacy, because I was reading the article on Mac Daily that DJ sent over, and basically the way Fire works is anytime you're taking a picture with your phone, it's indexing it through that engine. And so anything that you take a picture of is basically not private. And I don't know how I feel about that. You know, what if I what if I want to take a picture of my sister and I don't want it to be indexed or facial recognition or whatever it may be? I don't know. I guess I don't have enough information to make an intelligent statement about that.
I think the technology is developed. I mean, you know, if Amazon did it and has it developed, it'll come. I think Amazon in the smartphone category is really, really late to the game. Amazon has a tremendous track record at what they do best, and you know, adding the element of the smartphone, I don't know that people are going to migrate to that.
So you don't think this type of thing is going to be, even though they're late to the game, it's so innovative?
I think Apple and Google will have that process in a matter of months. It won't take long.
I know Google's been working on it.
I didn't when I saw the release of this, I didn't think about the camera. Like the 3D camera doesn't interest me, but what did interest me was sort of the way that they went about it as compared to, let's say, Apple or Google. So Apple releases a phone, and then they build a software/deliverable infrastructure, whereas Google did the same thing. Amazon kind of goes the other way. They already have the deliverable goods and the infrastructure with which to deliver the goods. So this seems like a very while people might not flock to it right away, it seems like almost a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you why wouldn't you just release the phone?
Oh,
Wouldn't
sure,
it
like
make
a
more
natural
sense? I think it would have made more sense to have it be an app. A lot of these features could have been an app on a Google phone or an Apple phone. They would have been able to make the same amount of money off of that. It's not special enough and it's not cheap enough.
I agree with you totally.
I think they're going to be trumped pretty quickly. If that was a $99 phone, that would be a game changer for them. And could really be transformative, but it's not very disruptive to add those features that will be quickly duplicated by other companies.
When you think of Amazon, what do you think about? It's a merchant, right? It's totally buying something. So where does that? I mean, how does that become? Oh, that's my main phone. That's my main thing. What do you do that? So I agree with the app.
Where does it chip away, like Brooke was saying, at our privacy again? Is it another?
If you look at the Facebook phone, I think there's a precedent set for that, because Facebook tried to have the Facebook phone, and Facebook would be the lens through which you would view the entire internet so that it could collect all that data. Very smart, but by the time that came out, people were like, I've got an Android phone and I've got an iPhone, and I'm happy with one of these two versions, so I don't know why I need a Facebook phone. I think we're looking a year, has it been 2 years since the Facebook phone, and now people are saying, well, why do I need an Amazon phone where I could do the Firefly sort of application soon too? Yeah, they're going to add a fourth camera, so I'll be able to look at things in 3D. I can still do all that shopping. I can still do that. And to make that the lens through which I view the internet doesn't really entice me unless you're going to be able to give me cell phone service for an incredibly low price, and then that gives me access to the internet that is granted to a whole group of people who may not have had that access beforehand. But then those are not likely the people who are going to go online and buy a bunch of stuff on Amazon like I am.
I'd like to hear Taylor's take on that.
I was just going to say that, Taylor. Can you tell us what are those type of things important to you? Are those features that we're talking about, are they important to you? Would it matter to you?
I've never even heard of them. This is the first time I'm hearing of it, but just from kind of taking in what you've all said.
Well, you should come on the show more often. We can educate you on it.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, yeah, I think it's I think it kind of goes into the privacy thing a little bit, but it almost kind of ties back to why my generation is said to be so lazy. Because why bother going to the store and figuring out what this is, or talking to someone about it when I can just sit here and take a picture of it. I think that kind of ties back to how we're losing that social interaction, and how we're losing that face-to-face connection, and just kind of goes back to why we're called the lazy generation.
But would you buy a whole new phone just to do that if you could download an app to your current phone and do the same thing?
No, I wouldn't buy a new phone. I don't think my dad would let me either.
That's a really good point, though. I think, Brooke, you need to be careful. I think you need to slide off camera there, Brooke. Your sister's taking over for you.
I would say this. One of the biggest things that Amazon did and eBay did is the one-click purchase, right? Mm-hmm. So I can go on Amazon and I can go click and it's bought. It's done. I mean, I've never spent so much damn money than that. You know? I mean, you get on there and you start searching for that. Oh, wait a minute, what about this? And you bought, you bought everything in a matter of 40 minutes that you could do in a week.
40 seconds. Yeah. Well, here's my question. What if Amazon had come out with augmented reality through the pictures, so that you turn on the camera and
see, that's where that's it right there.
That's disruptive. That makes sense.
And then I saw, looking at that hotel through my camera, this room's available. Click, and this is the price. Would you like to reserve it now? Now that would be boom.
I don't think we're not ready for augmented reality in the States. I've been talking about this for years about AR. That Europe and Asia are far and away ahead of us. Yeah, and AR especially. And I don't think people in America just either get it or care about it. Yeah, so if I mean, I love it. I think it'd be great. I wish I could see AR all the time, but
we're weird.
Even if Amazon did that, but nobody would care.
We are the exception. That's for sure, Jen.
Yeah.
Clarify that.
Well, the other thing, Randy, to piggyback on what you were saying, one of the things I think that Amazon has perfected, at least that I've noticed lately, and they put a lot of time into it, is the speed with which you get your stuff. I bought some camera lenses about 2 weeks ago. I ordered them on a Friday morning, and I got them Monday morning. That's incredible.
I ordered stuff on a Thursday afternoon and gotten it Friday.
That's
Amazon
incredible.
Fantastic on stuff like that.
You see, here's the thing: we're talking more. We're talking now about their speed of service and the deliverables that they've already been doing well, rather than the damn device. Nobody cares about the device.
It's not sexy enough.
Yeah, nobody cares. I yawned. I'm like, and my post about it yesterday wasn't quite as sarcastic as I intended it to be. But I'm watching the live stream of the phone being revealed, and I'm like, okay, great, Amazon has a phone. Okay, whatever.
That's really the way that I sort of took it. Was I yawned, and I just sort of took it as, okay, they're trying to figure out another way to get people to buy their stuff. That was
Go ahead, Randy. We seem to be interrupting.
I do think that Apple and Android, those type products, are the mainstay in somebody's hand. So it comes back down to an app. You need to be thinking about apps and how that, because Apple owns a big portion, Android owns a big portion. You got your your blacks and whites that you like, whatever, and it comes down to apps. Trying to introduce something like that is not going to be a game changer for most people.
Well, and they said that the Apple phone, you cannot download Instagram, Gmail, Google Maps, a lot of key apps that people use all the time. You cannot download on the new Amazon phone. So
that's the problem right there. Good point. Well, and I think it's going to come down to price point as well. I think, and Apple is going through that now. They're making a lot of their phones cheaper because they're going through that problem. They realize there's a big portion out there that are not buying their phones. Because
they're making all their products cheaper. They just released a 21-inch iMac for $1,000. I mean, it's a 1.8 gigahertz machine. It's slow as hell, but they're working on trying to make their products more accessible because there's the issue of their products being too expensive. Well, if Amazon charges $400 for this device, nobody's going to buy it. Nobody cares.
Yeah. And I'm curious to see if they do drop the price to something very inexpensive, if that's going to be enough to get people to make the purchase. It'll be interesting. I think it's going to be a good one to watch, though.
Well, you
just
got
to see
to
what
look
happens.
at Google. Look at Google's phone launch and see what happened with that.
Yeah. It's I will say this. I was more excited about the Amazon Fire than I would be anything that BlackBerry's going to ever put out.
I was just going to say I was more excited about BlackBerry than Amazon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
BlackBerry realizes they own a niche market. And
Yeah, and that's really going to stay.
Bad people.
Okay, so let's go to the final topic tonight, which last night, I'm sure a lot of people, it was early this morning in the States, but Facebook went down for, I believe it was about a half an hour. And as Jeff was saying in the green room, well, a lot of people here in the States didn't even know it happened because it was early in the morning and people weren't there yet. In Europe, they were flipping out. And I was just kind of curious. Yeah, I'm curious what the panel thought. I mean, I know some of us are very Google heavy. I know some of us are very Twitter heavy. And does it really matter to you? Would it be really a hassle if Facebook went down for a day or two?
No.
No.
Wait. From a personal standpoint or from a company business standpoint in which I'm using ads to drive revenue? Personally, no, not really. Business-wise,
No, it would be like if your
probably.
bakery store, your bakery closed down, and then I couldn't eat a donut every day. I'd be like, well, I guess I'll lose some weight.
But here's the thing: if your brand is specifically only on Facebook and you're not using one or two other channels, and Facebook goes down, and if you're losing a bunch of money, then you need to really rethink your strategy.
I was gonna say, why would
Well, I think, Jeff, I think if your brand is only on Facebook, you're not losing a bunch of money if it goes down for 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, that's true. I was trying to make another point, but okay, Randy, I got you.
It's a good wake-up call.
Yeah, that's true.
I think if it went down and didn't come back, I wouldn't be that upset.
Yeah, that might be it.
So I think some brands, but here's the thing, though. I think if you're a brand that is only on Facebook, you're obviously not getting it anyway.
No.
You know what I mean? Because that's not I just don't see as Facebook. If you're only on Facebook, then that's not a healthy online presence, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
Follow Brand on Facebook.
But Taylor, you said that Facebook was really big. Now, for your generation, is Facebook really big as a social platform or as a shopping business type platform?
Social, definitely.
Social.
I mean, I didn't even know that Facebook went down, but I think that's only because it was early in the morning. But
And she was still out.
my mom
Oh,
and
you gotta love-
this,
that
right?
was, oh man, I wish I got a screenshot of that face.
But I mean, I'm on the same page as most of you guys. Surprisingly, I would like Facebook to go down for a little bit, just because I think it can be annoying when it's.
I don't know
what just happened. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if it went down. I would almost like it. A little break from the constant social interaction over the internet.
Well, but
I
see,
think
then you go to Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat, so you really wouldn't
Yeah,
be
I mean,
eliminating
I'm
that
gonna miss
digital
out.
interaction. You just use a different platform.
Facebook's down. I've got 50 other ones I can.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I guess my idea would be how do you relate 30 minutes of Facebook to 30 minutes of power loss in your home? Which would you rather deal with? Because if you lose power in your home, you're losing everything anyway, primarily, right? So think about that.
Unless
Which
your
is
phone is charged.
Or impactful thing in your life.
I don't know. I'd almost be okay with losing power in my house because then I could completely unplug and,
Yeah.
I could
Which is
spend
good.
time.
Well, and I think there's a major trend going on right now with a lot of people. A lot of my friends, my internet friends, a bunch of the Steam Feed authors have been talking about how they're cutting way, way back. They're doing way, way less. And I think that's just part of the. I think that's part of what's going on with everybody. Randy, you were talking about doing a digital detox.
And Jennifer detoxed what, in January?
Going on
February?
summer vacation.
So,
I think on some level it is it is an unhealthy thing that a lot of people have in their lives. I think a lot of people, like for instance, if any one of you were going through a divorce and I was having coffee with you, I wouldn't go on and on about the hot date that I had last night because I'd say, wow, that's probably a really touchy subject for you. And yet we would do that online on Facebook, just because we want to share that, while there are probably people in our network who are going through a divorce and that's very painful for them. So you magnify that one behavior by 200. No matter what you're saying, you're probably deeply upsetting or offending somebody else in your network, and that can be really, really challenging for people.
I think it would be
awesome and also
very
really
upsetting
scary.
for your husband too, Jennifer.
Would be upsetting to your husband too. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be very upsetting if I was going on a hot date. Yeah.
She's got a good point.
With that in mind, that we are out of time, and I am actually late for a hot date with. Oh wait, my wife might be listening. Hold on. I want to thank everybody for being on the show again, and Taylor, thanks for joining us. I really, really appreciate you being here.
I had fun.
Good. And where is my? I'm trying to find my.
You don't want to leave us, do you?
No, let's keep going.
All night. We're your hot date.
Yes.
I don't know. That's a good question.
All right. Well, everybody have a good night, and we will see everybody in 2 weeks.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And where's the? How do I?
Woohoo!
What?
Hold on. It's not. We're still live. Hold on, folks. I lost my ability to get to the bottom of the screen.
Did we just lose Randy? I mean, Jerry?
Yeah. How are we taking pictures? How is this happening? I don't know how to do that.
There's an app in the toolbox.
Oh, yeah.
Should I get Snapchat? Should I take a selfie of all this?
Oh, yeah, there they all are. That's
I'm
great.
uncomfortable.
I am uncomfortable, too. Let's be uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's.
Who's taking these?
I don't know. How are you taking
I think Jerry's taking these, and I think he's going to index these on the new Amazon phone. That little son of a bitch.
I'm really happy.
Well, these are actually really bad pictures.
Yeah,
Terrible.
Oh, look, Jeff, there's one of you looking not happy. Not happy.
Oh my.
These are just really,
I
yeah.
Where'd Jerry go?
Yeah, I think he has a hot date.
Here's the funny part. We're still live.
we are.
We're
Are
live.
we still live?
Hung up. We're live and Jerry hung up.
We're still live and Jerry hung up. So maybe we should all just hang up.
Good
Yeah,
call.
we can do that.
I guess so.
Let's professionally hang up. Just
Yeah.
professionally
Bye, everybody.
Bye. See you later.
to everyone. Bye.
Bye.